President-elect Donald Trump doesn't take office for another 11 days, but the U.S. Senate is already working to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Today, some local pediatricians asked them not to do it. They told Scott Wolchek why repealing the law will be bad for kids.
Tom and Amanda Ruddy lost their son Thomas to a rare form of pediatric brain cancer in November. He was 5 years old.
His cancer had no cure. There was no treatment. We were given no options, and the only hope was a clinical trial.
Something they wouldn't have been able to do if it weren't for the Affordable Health Care Act covering the costs of clinical trials and making them more accessible. Doctors fear if the law is repealed, patients won't be able to afford the therapies, or they could get denied altogether.
If an insurance company decides to deny a therapy for a child with cancer, there won't be anything that a patient or a physician can do about it.
Doctors say less people participating in clinical trials means cancer research is going to be slowed,
which will also impede our progress towards understanding which of those new therapies are most effective.
Another protection in the act allows children with cancer who aren't benefiting from treatments to receive both hospice and curative therapy. Without the act, families have to choose one or the other.
From a parent standpoint, I would hate to see another family have to choose between the two therapies that we had to choose.
Even Republicans who want the law repealed admit it's helping some people, but they argue the rising premiums are proof it won't work long term.
Look, if we did nothing, you've got 1,022 counties in America today that only have one choice, one option when it comes to health care and one plan. You got 18 of the 23 co-ops who have collapsed. You've got premiums that have risen more than $4,300.
So far, there's no viable plan to replace Obamacare. Many doctors say they'll support a replacement with a caveat.
And if a replacement plan comes forward that maintains these protections, then that would be something that I could support.
In Lansing, Scott Wolchek, Fox 47 News.
The Federal Department of Health and Human Services says nearly 500,000 people in Michigan get their health insurance through Obamacare. President-elect Trump and Republican congressional leaders have said they won't be left without coverage once the law is repealed. The repeal may not take effect for several years to give Congress time to find a replacement.